Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. It is unfortunate this event is virtual this year, but we look forward to a time when we can all gather again. My name is Tim Zunker, and I am the interim president for the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Now, I am honored to introduce Congresswoman Angie Craig to speak to us about all the initiatives she is working on for Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District. Congresswoman Craig, thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
Throughout the caucus, to my own caucus, that we have got to get more COVID relief to the American people, particularly for those who've been unemployed. Many of your businesses have been asked to shut down by the government, the state government, and that we need to get some direct grant money to you. So I have co-sponsored and I'm leading the charge for the Restaurants Act, which would provide grant dollars to those of you who've lost so much revenue as a result of COVID-19 and have been asked to shutter your doors. I'm really proud of my track record in my first term of working as much as I can across the aisle, particularly in such politically polarized times. The last administration, the president signed 4 of my bills into law, including an extension of the Paycheck Protection Program, which I've worked with many community banks and credit unions and others to help design and implement here in the last Congress. So it is going to be, I know, a very difficult time period. My highest priority is acceleration of the vaccine, getting additional help to small businesses. We saw the economic data out here this morning that the economy grew slower than at any point since World War II in the US over the last year. Not surprising. It actually performed better than folks were thinking it might a year ago. So I know that we've got to all stay in this together. Those 22 years of business experience have formed my view that what you do is incredibly important. Also formed my view working in healthcare and running a self-insured health plan that healthcare is too expensive for employers, it's too expensive for consumers. So that'll be another huge priority for me in the 117th Congress. And then I'll just end on one final priority for me. Many of you may know that I have 4 sons, proud of all of them. Our youngest is graduating from Rosemount High School here this year. Our oldest went the career and trade skills route. He's a machinist too. And I'm just going to continue to be a huge proponent for career skills and technical education in this country. And again, I would just invite every single one of you to be in touch with my team if you'd like me to come visit your business and tell me directly your story or provide your viewpoints on what we should be doing in this Congress. So again, Tim, thank you so much for having me today. It's truly an honor to represent the 2nd District, and I will continue to make sure that making Main Street a priority is among my highest. So thank you.
Congresswoman Craig, thank you again for taking the time to join us today, and thank you for all you do for the 2nd Congressional District. It is greatly appreciated.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Now I would like to take a moment to thank our 2021 annual meeting sponsor, Xcel Energy. At this time, I would like to share a short video and then invite Michelle Swanson with Xcel Energy to share some of their initiatives with us.
At Xcel Energy, we're going carbon-free by 2050. We'll use the energy of the wind and the sun, but other things too. All kinds of energy, all the energy. Belief, possibility, and you. Your energy supercharged by a bajillion, million, zillion volts of optimism. You, us, together for a carbon-free future.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you again so much for being the presenting sponsor for the 2021 Shakopee Chamber of Commerce annual meeting.
Good morning. I hope you enjoyed our most recent ad campaign. Xcel Energy is dedicated to carbon-free electricity by 2050. And to get there, we'll need all kinds of energy from you, from us, from everything. So as Tim mentioned, my name is Michelle Swanson, Manager of Community Relations and Economic Development with Xcel Energy. We've been members of the Chamber for 20 years and are really pleased to be the presenting sponsor for this event. Today, I hope to provide some interesting information on our company, including our presence and impact in Shakopee. First, a little bit of background on our company overall. We serve 8 states and our corporate headquarters is in Minneapolis. We're nationally recognized on a number of different fronts, some of which I'll mention later in my presentation. We as a company have been in business for over 110 years. But what many of you may not know is that we supply both electric and natural gas service to Shakopee, and we have significant electric infrastructure in the community. If you look at this map, you'll see that there are 3 electric providers serving Shakopee. We have about 160 electric customers in Shakopee, and as you can see from the map, they're predominantly located near Highway 101. Many of these customers are large commercial or industrial customers. While not shown on this map, we serve about 500 gas customers in Shakopee, and our gas business is growing. Most of our gas growth is in the southwest corner of Highway 169 and Marystown Road. Furthermore, we have significant infrastructure in Shakopee. Our Blue Lake property in Shakopee is about 127 acres. It includes a large generating facility called Blue Lake and our Blue Lake substation. We employ 5 permanent staff at the plant. So we have 3 strategic priorities as a company: lead the clean energy transition, enhance the customer experience, and keep bills low. Our first priority is leading the clean energy transition. In 2018, we committed to reducing our carbon emissions by 80% from 2005 levels by 2030, and to be carbon free by 2050. The 2050 goal was a vision. So this was an industry and nation leading announcement. We are now over halfway to achieving the 2030 goal, as we've already reduced our carbon emissions by 44%. While we know today that we can make the 2030 goal because we have the technologies currently that are cost effective and reliable, but we do not have technologies in place today that are cost effective and reliable to get us to that last 20% carbon reduction by 2050. But we're optimistic that technology will continue to evolve for us to meet this vision. So we plan on meeting these carbon reduction goals through an integrated plan that we have submitted to the Minnesota Public Utilities Commission for approval. And we're looking to get these carbon reduction goals really through 4 different ways. First, we're planning on retiring the last of our coal plants in Minnesota 10 years earlier than what we previously committed. So if approved, we'll have no coal plants operating after 2030 in the upper Midwest. Second, we're dramatically increasing renewables, wind and solar generation. Third, we'll continue to rely on our nuclear plants, which are carbon-free and operate 24/7. We will request a 10-year license extension at our Monticello nuclear power plant to continue this important carbon-free resource. And finally, we will use natural gas as a transition, as a bridge fuel to achieving 100% carbon-free by 2050. We will need firm, dispatchable resources on our system in the interim as we greatly increase our variable renewable resources such as wind and solar. This allows the time needed for other non-carbon technologies to develop and become available on a cost-effective basis. The second priority for Xcel Energy is enhancing the customer experience. We want to meet our customers' evolving needs and interests and make it easy to do business with us. There are so many ongoing efforts to enhance the customer experience that I'll mention only a few. First of all, we offer more than 150 efficiency and rebate options to all classes of customers to help them manage energy use and control their bills. And customers have many options for managing their accounts on our mobile app. They can report outages and receive notifications of status updates via phone, text, or email. Customers can track outages across our service territory online. Our economic development programs focus on establishing real estate options for business attraction and expansion projects. In 2020, we brought 11 projects into our service territory, equating to about $490 million in capital investment and 1,700 jobs. And most of those projects were in Minnesota. Working with city leadership, we have a proven track record of attracting strategic customers to our communities in our service territory. We've also taken bold steps in the development of electric vehicle programs. In fact, we recently announced a vision to replace 30,000 gas-powered models to electric vehicles by 2030 across our 8-state service territory. We have a number of programs in place now and have proposed several other EV programs to reach our vision. Finally, we intend to reduce our carbon emissions and enhance the customer experience, all while keeping bills low. That is our third priority. We know that energy affordability is a top priority for our customers. The average monthly electricity bill for an Xcel Energy residential customer in Minnesota was 24% below the national average in 2019 and 17% below the average bill of a non-Xcel Energy customer in Minnesota. So moving on, building our communities is vital to building our future, and we're involved in Shakopee in many ways. We're a member of the Shakopee Key Leaders Forum and have been a member of the Chamber for nearly 20 years. Through the Chamber, we sponsor numerous events, and we also donate to local causes, including the Shakopee Heritage Society, the Reverend Pond Statue, and Community Action Partnership, just to name a few. And we are always looking for ways to partner with our communities. In fact, just this last July, we coordinated with the city to plan a major groundbreaking of the Xcel Energy Mountain Bike Park. We are leasing at no cost 30 acres of our Blue Lake plant property to allow a mountain bike park to be built. This partnership involved the city, Xcel Energy, the school district, and the Shakopee Midwakan Sioux community. Construction will start in the spring of 2021 with plans for completion in the fall of 2021. We value our relationship with the city of Shakopee, its residents, its businesses, and the Chamber, and we look forward to exploring more opportunities in the future to partner. With that, this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you to Xcel Energy for your continued partnership with the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Now I would like to start the presentation for the 2021 Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau annual meeting. 2020 was a difficult year for many of our businesses. Our organization, along with many of the businesses in the Shakopee community, had to navigate through shutdowns, layoffs, and more. Once the March shelter in place occurred, the Chamber transitioned to an information hub for federal, state, and local guidance. We could get to our businesses in a timely manner. We created our Keep Shakopee Strong hub on the Chamber site with information on COVID-19 financial relief, preparedness plans, executive orders, federal information, area health services, and updated information on our restaurants and their takeout options. During this time, it also seemed we were sending multiple e-blasts and social media posts per day, along with multiple phone calls with all the information that was coming our way. Once our businesses started opening, we pushed our Shop Local initiatives along with our Prepared and Safe campaign. Our organization also created Shop Local discount cards with promotions from local businesses around Shakopee to help drive traffic to these establishments. We also promoted our businesses through media channels through the Shakopee Chamber, Visit Shakopee, and Downtown Shakopee, and worked with business owners on marketing and operating tactics. In March, our Main Street program also pivoted to internal communication, grant support, and an advocacy role. Ashley worked with Rethos Minnesota and Main Street America on funding and grant opportunities for local businesses affected by COVID-19. And by working with Rethos and other organizations, the Chamber was able to help facilitate over $25,000 in grants to at least 8 small businesses in the Main Street district. Another thing we worked on with the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development was the distribution of masks to Shakopee businesses and other community chambers and organizations for distribution to their businesses. This initiative helped us distribute over 20,000 masks in Scott County. Another program we created in 2020 due to COVID-19 restrictions was the Shakopee Chamber podcast. This podcast was created to help get pertinent information out to our membership and the community. We had guests who focused on a variety of topics, including state, city, and county government, executive leadership and training, the Shakopee School District, and information on the 2020 elections. We're always looking for interesting topics and guests, so feel free to reach out to me anytime with suggestions. We were fortunate enough to host a few events in 2020, including Reds, Whites, and Brews, our annual golf tournament, a few member luncheons, and other networking events. Ashley was able to convert our Holiday Fest to a winter holiday market, which included more than 15 local and regional craft vendors. We were also able to move forward with Leadership Shakopee for 2020. Our Public Policy Committee had another successful year in 2020, researching issues brought to us by members and working on getting information out to the voters regarding elections. We hosted candidate forums and candidate debates this year, making the debates a live stream event since we could not have attendees. As we navigate out of the COVID-19 pandemic, this committee will work closely on public policy initiatives to encourage a business and development-friendly economy locally. Going into 2021, the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau is strong. In 2020, to keep the Shakopee Chamber and CVB going, most of the team made the sacrifice of moving to shared work. However, during that time, we made sure our work and the things we could do as a Chamber of Commerce did not suffer. Before 2020, national chamber industry trends were showing declining membership and stronger competition than ever before from other organizations in our communities for our members' resources. Although we are not able to report tremendous revenue or member growth in 2020, we were able to keep the organization stable and set it up for a very strong 2021 and beyond, which is something many chambers nationwide are unable to say. I want to thank all of you for being loyal members and partners and believing in us and our mission to make this message possible. In 2021, we are ready to move forward and rally for our recovery and the future of our organization and our membership. We want to build stronger partnerships with our members, our stakeholders, and our community. We want to be the voice of the business community and focus on policy initiatives that help with a robust recovery. Which leads us to our strategic plan. Our organization's focus starts with our strategic plan, which outlines 4 key areas we use to focus our efforts when planning our programs, policy agenda, and annual events. While the strategies and tasks in each area may vary from year to year, our goals remain the same, which are to ensure growth of the chamber through ongoing membership development, to represent the business community and serve as the voice of business through bold public policy and advocacy, to strengthen tourism and economic development in Shakopee to enhance the overall marketplace, and to position the organization for excellence through leadership development, both internally and for our membership. First quarter of 2021, we'll have a lot of advocacy activity for our organization. The Chamber and a group of members attended the virtual session priorities event on January 6th and will be part of Main Street Day, Hospitality Day, and Business Day at the Capitol in the coming weeks and months. As a Minnesota Chamber Federation member, a member of the National Main Street Program, a member of the Minnesota Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus, and a member of Hospitality Minnesota, we have a seat at the table, speaking with Shakopee Business's voice as these associations and organizations address issues that are important to our members. And even though 2020 did not have a lot of legislative initiatives move forward at the state level outside of COVID-19 relief, we will ensure your voices are heard regarding our ongoing efforts in tax competitiveness, healthcare, workplace mandates, transportation, workforce development, and environment and energy. Also, with the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce and other state associations, we will work on policy initiatives, including avoiding additional restrictions on business operations, making sure to not raise costs and burdens on businesses that are already struggling to survive, helping businesses with cash flow, providing additional tax relief to help with cash flow and to improve the state's competitiveness, to ease restrictions and allow flexibility on government assistance for existing loans, enacting COVID-19 lawsuit protections, helping support the public health response to COVID-19, and help improve health and safety of employees and increase consumer activity while preventing the spread of COVID-19. From a hospitality and tourism standpoint, we will continue to advocate for the industry on initiatives through the Minnesota Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus, Hospitality Minnesota, and the Minnesota Tourism Growth Coalition on continued funding for Explore Minnesota Tourism, with the expansion of the events grant program, which will help us bring new and exciting events to Shakopee, supporting Minnesota's limitations of schools starting classes prior to Labor Day, preserving the limited use of local option sales tax to focus on the dollars being used for marketing a destination only, and supporting uniform regulations and taxation for a competitive marketplace for our hotels. We are a pro-business organization and are not concerned with which side of the aisle your vote is cast on. We are only concerned with how the activity at the legislature is impacting you and creating opportunities for you to be heard. Please contact us with any questions about upcoming initiatives at the Capitol and how our organization is working to make sure the Shakopee business community's voice is heard. Also, as part of the Chamber's commitment to workforce development, we remain committed to the Shakopee School District's Academies program, serving as the convening organization, committed to helping bridge the business community to the school. Our organization looks forward to having Jenny Ames, Community Partnerships Manager with Shakopee Public Schools, back in our office in 2021, so we can work together towards the success of this terrific program. Now I would like to talk a little bit about some of our programs and events for 2021. We are excited to launch this new leadership development program for 2021. Leadership 2.0 is an 8-month cohort starting in April and is designed to give leaders next level skills. These monthly half-day sessions will focus on executive thinking, executive presence, executive vision, executive change, planning and execution, organizational culture, strategy and execution, equality and inclusion, and ethical leadership. All sessions for Leadership 2.0 will be facilitated by Scott Morrell with Rebar Leadership and will be held at Hazeltine National Golf Club. Registration is now open, so please let us know if you are interested and would like more information. We had to change the dates for the 2020 Leadership Shakopee program, but we'll have our 5th year class graduating in March. At that time, we will move immediately into our 2021 leadership class, which begins in April. Leadership Shakopee is a terrific program for our local business leaders. The program gives a great behind-the-scenes look at the inner workings of our community, focusing on the local economy, law and justice, local government and workforce, tourism, and culture and history. This has become so much more than a leadership program. It is a great opportunity to make connections and friendships. Graduates from previous years are serving on each other's boards, collaborating on community projects, and other initiatives to help support the community. Registration for this program will open soon. I encourage you or someone from your organization look at attending. Our executive roundtable, facilitated by Scott Morrell of Rebar Leadership on behalf of the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau, provides a collaborative and intimate experience for the members of the group to share best practices, workforce challenges, and support one another. If you'd like more information, please reach out to me and we will get that to you. We are so excited to bring back Rhythm on the Rails for 2021 after not being able to have it for 2020. We have an amazing list of bands scheduled for 2021, including Trailer Trash and the Belfast Cowboys, the Fabulous Armadillos, GB Layton, The World According to Garth, a tribute to Garth Brooks, and I Am He Said, a Neil Diamond tribute. We look forward to hosting this community event in downtown Shakopee, and we look forward to seeing everyone there. It is going to be a great time. We were fortunate enough to be able to have a version of our annual golf tournament in 2020 and look forward to the opportunity to have our traditional tournament this July. It is a fun time for everyone and a great chance to enjoy the outdoors with colleagues and friends. LeaderCast, Positive Disruption, had a virtual format in 2020, so we were unable to gather to hear the inspirational stories and successes of the speakers. LeaderCast Shift has moved their event date from May to August 11th and are planning on going back to the normal tradition of hosting a live in-person event. Just as a few of the speakers for 2021 include Emmy-nominated Rainn Wilson, Pro Football Hall of Famer and former Vikings receiver Chris Carter, and author Todd Henry. We will continue to share more details about this great program as they come available. Ashley in our office did an outstanding job pivoting Holiday Fest in 2020 to a winter market. This was a great chance for our area small business vendors to showcase their products. We look forward to having our regular Holiday Fest in 2021, including our parade, our tree lighting, our winter market, and our fireworks. Another event we were unable to have in 2020 was our annual Shakopee Chamber Women's event. This event is an amazing opportunity for our women community leaders to join us for inspirational speakers, education, and networking opportunities. This is an event we are excited to bring back in some form in 2021. We had another successful Reds, Whites, and Brews in 2020 with a new location we used at Canterbury Park. We are hoping we will be able to have this a fun event or one like it in 2021, and we'll update everyone as we move forward. One of the big things our members look to us for as part of their membership is networking opportunities. These give our small and large businesses and organizations a chance to meet with other members, talk about their organization's initiatives, and serve as an education opportunity. We look forward to bringing back our in-person networking events as soon as we can, including our chamber membership luncheons, our Wake Up with Shakopee program, our Shakopee Young Professionals program, our ambassador visits, and our ribbon cuttings. We look forward to another busy year for our Main Street program in 2021. Ashley is already working on Rhythm on the Rails, bringing back Farmers Market, and working on future Rethos opportunities to help our Main Street members. We are excited to get back to marketing Shakopee as one of the region's best travel destinations in 2021. Plans are already in place to once again run a robust marketing campaign focusing on our area's attractions, restaurants, shopping, and events. We will also use 2021 as an opportunity to gather research to help push economic development, including the STAR report on hotel trends and hotel consumption, consumer sentiment reports, and more. We will share that information as we receive it. The Shakopee Chamber feels staff growth is an essential part of our organization and will continue to encourage our employees to seek out opportunities whenever possible. This year, Ashley will be attending the National Main Street Conference to learn more about initiatives to help market and develop downtown Shakopee. Ashley will also be graduating from our Leadership Shakopee program in March. I will continue my Institution for Organization Management program in June and will be attending tourism development programs, including the U.S. Travel Association's ESTO conference, the Explore Minnesota Tourism Conference, and education opportunities through the Minnesota Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus. It is now my pleasure to introduce 2020 Board Chair Shane Hoffman with Edina Realty Mortgage.
Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, again, my name is Shane Hoffman. I served as the board chair this year with not a ton of events and things of that nature. We probably didn't see each other out and about, but it was my pleasure to serve this year. For those who don't know me, I'm a mortgage consultant with Edina Realty Mortgage for about the last 10 years. My wife and I, Tracy, we live in Shakopee. We've got a couple kids going to Sunpath. So that's been interesting with the hybrid and home and now back a little bit. So we put one out this week. So that was exciting. And we've got our third grader going in a couple weeks. So life has been different this year, as you all know. So, last year I stood at the podium and talked about leading the board and really not taking that job lightly. And that turned out to be very true because we had to make some really tough decisions as a board. Obviously, the pandemic, as we all know, made us do business completely differently, right? And we looked at, we had to furlough some people, and thankfully those people stuck with us. And, we try to get as much information as we could out to you as members. And we thank you for sticking with us, everyone that's still a member and everything like that. I mean, we can't be an organization without you guys. So thank you for sticking with us through a tough year. So hopefully, 2021 brings some more smiles and being around people and having some fun again out there in the community. So, I don't want to reflect too much on 2020 just because it wasn't a ton of fun for a lot of people, I think. But if I want to point out one thing, I really do want to thank our staff. I mean, I don't think there's enough words that I can say for how hard they had to work and how differently they had to work, how they had to adjust on the fly. And I know we lost Angie, but she did a lot of good things behind the scenes that maybe not everybody realizes. But just advocacy and working those phones and everything that she did behind the scenes was phenomenal. And we're going to miss her, but at the same time, I'm super, super excited. And it'll be a fun challenge for Tim to take on this new role. And Tim, I think, is going to do a phenomenal job. I really do. I think anytime you have a big change like this, Andy's been here for 10 years or was here for 10 years, right? But, there's also something really kind of exciting about a new voice and a new leadership style and everything that goes along with that. With change sometimes can be good. So I'm really excited for Tim. And I think we'll be hopefully back to, who knows? You can't predict, right, what 2021 is going to look like. But it seems like there's a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm hoping we're going to get back to a little bit of normal and get back to having some events and being around each other again. I know we all would love that. I know I would love that. So hopefully we can make that happen as we go into the year here. So I just want to say thank you again to all the members out there. And again, we're looking forward to 2021. Thank you. Okay, and with that being said, I am super excited to introduce our 2021 board chair, Chad Peterson. Chad and I go way back. I'm super excited for him to take over this leadership role. And so I've got some specific language I need to go through to install him. So I'm going to go through that right now. So Chad, you stand on the threshold of a new leadership year for the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. You have been elected by your colleagues to guide and govern the organization to new levels of excellence and service. This vote of confidence in your ability and your dedication is also a vote of thanks. Gratitude for your willingness to commit great amounts of your time and energy for the betterment of the business community. Just as you will be generous with your time, so too will the members who have selected you. Through their participation, they will give you the support you need to be effective. You will provide the voice to the business community. You will act for the good of all the members and the business community at large. With the prestige of office comes the responsibility to represent all interests of the membership. And in providing leadership, you offer yourself as a servant for your colleagues and members. If you are prepared to accept these duties, please raise your right hand. Do you sincerely promise that you will administer your office as chair of the board in the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau to the best of your abilities and judgments, that you will act in conformity with the organization's bylaws, that you will adhere to and enforce the code of standards, that your decisions and actions will be governed by the principles of honesty and justice, and that you will safeguard the best interests of the members and the business community we serve? If you do, please answer, I will.
I will.
You may lower your hand. By the authority conferred on me by the association, I declare you to be officially installed as chair of the board of directors. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Shane. Now we would like to call the 2021 annual meeting to order. It's exciting to say. So as my first official duty as board chair, I think it's important that we start by focusing on recognizing a few individuals that deserve a great thank you from 2020. First off, we want to thank Shane Hoffman for leading the chamber through such a crazy year. He did it with class, he did it with calmness, and he did it with the focus of the growth of Shakopee. And in recognition of this and your time as board chair, Shane, we want to present you with a plaque as a thank you to you, which we'd love to hand it out to you in person, but that'll be delivered to you soon. Second, we want to thank the chamber staff. I think it's important to do so right away. Tim, Ashley, Christy, we want to thank you too for your dedication, your patience, and your flexibility in 2020. We thank you for still being here. We thank you for putting up with the roller coaster and changes. We need you here. Shakopee needs you here. And we're very happy to have you in 2021 still. So thank you to the Chamber staff. Finally, I also want to give a shout out to Angie Wickham. As all of us know here, she's no longer with the Chamber, but just because she's no longer with the Chamber doesn't deny anything she did in the past. So she put her heart and soul into Shakopee, the Chamber, and the community for the past 10 years. She's going to leave a big impact. She left the Chamber better today than it was when she started. And for that, Angie Wickham deserves a thank you. So just wanted to acknowledge those people to start the meeting. As a little background to myself, my name is Chad Peterson. I'm the owner of Integrated Marketing and Design. We're a full service marketing agency located right here in Shakopee. When we started the company, we started at just over 7 years ago in 2013. Now, our first thing we did when we started the business is we immediately knew that we needed to join the Chamber. So before we had even had our first customer, we had joined the Chamber. We knew it was imperative to become a part of the community on all levels, and we knew how important and what a key role the Chamber provided. And we haven't looked back since. We've been a part of the Chamber faithfully every year, and we know the Chamber has been an asset to our business. My wife and our 5 children, we live in Shakopee, we work in Shakopee, we play in Shakopee, and our kids go to school in Shakopee. So we're really devoted and involved in the Shakopee community. Now, my wife, she was born and raised in Shakopee. I was not. For me, Shakopee was a place that we came the last day of school on a field trip to Valley Fair. It was a fun day trip during the summer with my family, but it was a destination. Unlike my wife, this was her backyard. And so once we got married, I moved to Shakopee, and forevermore, it's now been my backyard. It's crazy to think what once was a day trip is now what I'm surrounded by day in and day out. And I feel very fortunate for that. Now, Shakopee is an interesting community because every time we went out somewhere, my wife always knew somebody she grew up with or from school. And even to this day, she always knows somebody when we go out. So I told my wife when we started integrated marketing, I said, you know what, you can know everybody in the community from school, but I'm going to know every business leader in the community of Shakopee. And then together we're going to know everybody throughout. And that's been my goal ever since. I've had my head down, pressing forward, trying to make Shakopee a better place, getting to know all the business leaders and all of you here, and just had a great time doing it. So as I looked at 2021 and I looked to the past chairs and those I'm surrounded by on the board, I really do ask myself, I'm like, well, what can I add of value? I look at Shane Hoffman. He's one of the most likable guys I know. You look at Michael Clem. He's one of the most knowledgeable and detailed guys I know. You look too to other past chairs like Michael Morris, who was before Michael Clem. He's one of the most vocal and driven leaders. So when I look to myself becoming the chair of 2021, I think, what can I add? Well, I had to do some thinking on that, and I thought of 2 main areas. First, simply put, I'm a doer. I'm going to work hard for Shakopee. There's nothing I'd ask of any other of you here or in the chamber that I wouldn't ask of myself, and I'll always be the first one to step up by example. I think 2021 is going to be a year of doers that are working hard, because no doubt after 2020, we have a hill to climb. So I'm going to ask the board, I'm going to ask the chamber members, for all of us to come together in 2021 to become doers for the greater good of Shakopee. So let's get that mentality together. That's going to be an area that I heavily focus on and that you can hold me accountable to. And I think that's what an asset I can really bring this year as board chair. Second, my life, my business life is surrounded around marketing. The essence of what integrated marketing and design does is we grow the businesses of our customers. Now, as I take the chair or the role of the chair, I'm going to focus on the same growth for Shakopee. We want the success and we want the growth of the chamber and of the community. So I'm going to apply what we do on a daily basis, and we're going to oversee it with the chamber and make sure we take some key initiatives there and work together and grow the chamber. So that's really 2 strong areas I want to focus on and bring to the table in 2021. So what goals do we have? Well, I have some very clear and measurable goals in my head that I've put together. And I think As I think about what I'd like to accomplish, and I reflect on conversations and concerns that I've had with chamber members over the past 7 years, I've come up with 4 key areas. First and foremost, we need to get back and grow our in-person networking. Now, the chamber has done a fantastic job on advocacy. They have it on lockdown. With 2020, all of our in-person networking had to be pushed to the side. But for many businesses in the chamber, we know that these businesses rely on networking for the growth of their business. So we need to get back to in-person networking. We need to grow these events, and we need to take a strong focus on how we do that safely, strategically, and for the betterment of all the chamber members. It's imperative not only to do that on a monthly basis, but with our signature events, and we think we can do that and have a plan to do that in 2021, so be on the lookout for that. Second, we want to grow the membership of the chamber. First off, I want to thank everybody for sticking around in 2020. We know that was a hard year and you had some tough decisions to make, but having you stay with the chamber shows the value you find in it. And we want to thank you with the value we put into it in 2020. And one of those areas is going to be the growth of membership. So in order to do this in 2021, it has to go hand in hand with in-person networking. And we also want to look at every possible opportunity for chamber growth and consider it. We're living in unique times and we need to consider each opportunity. So there may be some opportunities that come along and some events and ideas that come along that will add value and bring on new chamber members. So chamber growth would be the second, or I should say membership growth should be our second key initiative. Third, I really want to focus on bringing all sides of Shakopee together. We know the lifeblood of any community is the downtown, and Shakopee is no different in that way whatsoever. However, we want to make sure we're connecting all the different sides of Shakopee together, and we want all sides of Shakopee to feel the residuals of eat, stay, and play as part of Shakopee. So we know we've heard those concerns from members in the past, making sure that we're more well-rounded, and I think, you know, the chamber does a great job focusing on downtown, and now we just need to connect all boundaries together, and I think we can definitely do that this year. Finally, another goal I have is just, I want to hear from the chamber members. I want to sit down for coffee, lunch, Zoom meetings, whatever can be done, and I want to hear what you'd like to see out of your chamber. You guys have been around for a while. You know how the chamber operates for most of you, and you guys have great ideas. So we want to take the ideas, not just of the staff, not of the board, but every member here, we want to hear from and incorporate. So I would like to reach out to you right now and say, if you have ideas, suggestions, things you'd like to see different, or things you think are being done well, feel free to reach out to me at any time. I want to make sure to get to know each and every chamber member. Also, all the new chamber members that will be joining us this year, I'm going to personally reach out to and welcome them as well and see how we can help them make the most of their membership. So really, I think 2021 is going to be a great year. I think we got some things to dig ourselves out from in 2020. There's no doubt that we need to be strategic and cautious in 2021, but with those that we have in place, the board we have in place, the staff we have in place, the membership and opportunities, I 100% think we can do that in 2021, and I'm excited to be the chair of the board. So thank you to everybody. Now it's time for some recognition. We want to recognize and thank the outgoing board members and to announce the newest elected members of our board and those that have also been elected to serve a second term. So first, we want to acknowledge the outgoing board members. Gary Meyer with Prime Security Bank and Jessica Beekman with Park Nicollet Shakopee. We want to recognize you and thank you for your time on the board. And we have a plaque to honor you for this, and those will be delivered to you soon. Thank you both for your time on the board. Second, we want to introduce new directors to the board. We're excited to make these announcements. We think they're both going to be great assets to the board, and we're excited to have them. First, we want to welcome Amy Schmidt with McNearney Schmidt Funeral and Cremation. We're excited to have her on the board. And then Rod Southwood with Freight Management Logistics. We're very confident these will be great assets in addition to the board, bring great knowledge, and really help the growth of Shakopee in 2021. Third, we also want to recognize our currently seated board members and those taking a second term. We want to recognize Jeff Smolinski with Entrust. He's serving a second term. Lindsay Puffer with Hometown Bank. She's also serving a second term. And Scott O'Brien with O'Brien's Public House. He's serving a second term. Thank you to those three. Also in recognition of our current board members, we want to acknowledge Matt McCormick with Valley Fair. He's also going to be our vice chair this year. Jay McKinney with Certainteed. Angela Romero Bullard with Night Train. Dave Pass with Flagship Insurance. Michael Clem with Helmuth and Johnson. Bryce Holzer with Greystone Construction. John Groen with Canterbury Park. Tim Whitcomb with Farmers Insurance. Jennifer Carlson with Metropolitan Dance. And Michael Morris with St. Francis Regional Medical Center. Finally, we want to make sure to acknowledge and recognize the Shakopee Chamber staff once more. I know I did that at the very beginning, but they are such key roles and fundamental operation within the Shakopee Chamber that they deserve to be acknowledged again. We want to acknowledge Christy Chatterton with the Billing and Operations Manager. We want to acknowledge Ashley Grotwald, the Main Street Director. And we also want to acknowledge Tim Zunker, the interim president. We know there's some shoes to fill with Angie being gone. I know Tim's the right man for that job. He has a great background. He's got a great mindset to Shakopee. I like his thinking and abilities that he's done with the CVB side, and I'm excited to see what he does in this role. And I'm excited to see what all three of them do for the Shakopee Chamber in 2021. So the Shakopee Chamber, all the members, all the board, we want to thank you three for all that you've done. With that, I want to thank everyone here in attendance today again, and we'll turn the meeting back over to our interim president, Tim Zunker.
Thank you, Chad. And thank you to our board members who accepted the nominations and are stepping up to lead our organization forward. At this time, I would like to once again thank all of the members and partners with the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. 2020 was an extremely trying year for many of us. We had to navigate shutdowns, partial reopenings, more shutdowns, and a very uncertain economic climate. I believe that the Shakopee community did an amazing job working together to work through this. The city did amazing things to help our businesses, including the tent outside of Turtles, Arnie's, and the Shakopee Brew Hall, located in downtown Shakopee. Scott County did wonderful things, including distribution of CARES funds through their grant programs and helping navigate the COVID-19 pandemic from a county level. I believe we came together as a community and will be stronger for it when this is all a thing of the past. Because of this, the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau would like to announce that all of our amazing members are the 2020 Member of the Year. Without your strong commitment, our organization would not be able to thrive. I sincerely thank you for all that you do for us. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. We will soon be sending out member recognition certificates to each one of you. And we will now conclude the 2021 Shakopee Chamber Annual Meeting. Thank you all again for everything that you do. We look forward to working together and creating a very successful 2021.